Hi everyone, I'm Meg from LovenStamps, and this is Maker Mornings with Meg. I probably should have worn something Christmassy today because we are kicking off Christmas here at LovenStamps with a really fabulous set of projects that we'll be featuring during the month of whatever this is, October. 2 stamp sets and bundles, stamp and die bundles, so Christmas lights, which is really, so it looks like kind of a standard Christmas set, tree, snowflake, garlands, but it has some really, really cool techniques and possibilities that come with the dies that come along with it. And the Brightest Glow stamp set, which gives you all of the fabulous greeting selection ideas or choices for using with the other stamp set, and the set of dies that go with this are fantastic for making labels and things that you can use all year long. Definitely not just for Christmas with these dies. The theme of these are light your world, shining bright, those things, they go great with this. We're going to use some glimmer paper. We're going to use some designer series paper that has metallic embossing on it. And I'm going to give you a really fun card idea that you could use for a Christmas card, or you could adapt and use for pretty much any occasion. So lots of good possibilities for that. So yay, morning. Hi, everybody, say hi. I know I was like two minutes behind in getting started this morning, but we're here now and we're ready to go. There is a link in the video description for the supplies that I am showing you. There is a further link because this is one of the Stamp Club, tutorials to go, LovenStamps tutorials to go for the month of October. So you can get a card kit for this card plus one of the other ones that I'll show you later in October if your order with me during October is at least $50. So link in the video description. Make sure you're ordering with me to qualify for those. And of course, anybody who places any size order with me during the month of October will get the 4 project tutorial plus and a little extra bonus this month with some extra ideas for this set of supplies. So with that, let us grab our cardstock here, and I'm going to get going to show you the base for our fun fold cards today. All right. Hi, Terry. Okay. Oops. Gosh, I got my camera tightened really a lot there. So let's get that a little bit back. Okay. So like I said, a fun fold card. And so I'm going to show you here on our Simply Scored board the scoring for this. So this is a really pretty simple thing. It could require a teeny bit of math if you are so inclined, but it doesn't have to require math. I'll just tell you what to do. So again, the written instructions for all of this are part of the tutorials for this month. But what you're going to do basically is you're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 11 by 4 1/4, and you're going to score it instead of in the center. I like to score it at 1.5 inches and 7 inches. So that's like the answer to the problem. If you want to know how to do the problem, it's really pretty simple. Basically, I pick what I want my bottom flap of my card to be. We're going to make this a vertical card, and I score there, and then just know that this piece from here to here has to be 5.5 inches so that it fits in a regular envelope, okay? And so then you're gonna score 5.5 inches away from wherever line you picked here, and go ahead and fold there. So there is our card base like that, okay? So it's just gonna open like this, right? And I'm gonna show you a really neat trick for closing it so that it stays closed where we want it, so. All right, and if you're thinking that this stuff looks familiar, that's probably because it is the project that is right there on the front of the mini catalog. So clearly a popular set. So we're going to use a bunch of stuff from the suite, the stamps, the jewels if I can find mine, the dies, and all of the things. Let's see, festive. Let's see. These are the festive pearls, I think. Okay. Whew. All the stuff. All right, so we've got our card base. We have a piece of very vanilla cardstock that is going to fit inside it, just like this. So this is cut to 4 by 5 1/4, and then we are going to work on some pieces for the front of our card also. So for this one, we're gonna go ahead and do something that is a little bit crazy. And that is we are going to mix vanilla and white. So when this catalog first came out, and like as demonstrators, we only had access to like seeing it online and stuff, I was like, wait, is this sweet meant to go with white, or is this sweet meant to go with vanilla? And I was talking to my friend Mary Ellen, and she's like, I think they use both. And that in like stamping terms is kind of like a, whoa, we don't do that. We don't mix vanilla and white. We pick a neutral and we stick with it. But in this suite, it is a suite for breaking the rules. So this is going to be one more example of that, where we are going to have both white and vanilla on a card. And you can see that they did it here on the front of the catalog. So I think we're going to be okay. So I've got some Whisper White for our tag. I have 3 strips of the Designer Series paper for some pieces. The Designer Series paper, this is only a portion of the pack because I have used so much of it, but it has colors in Evening Evergreen. It has some basic black, very vanilla, and cherry cobbler, and this is soft succulent. So these are sort of the basic colors here and the patterns. It's 6x6 paper, and that means that we are going to work on cutting efficiently to make the most of it. So these pieces are 2 inches by 4 inches, and they are going to form the base of the front of our card. And so I'm going to line them up here, and we're going to have them overlap the bottom of our card here. So I'm going to have this one like this, and then this one kind of here. And so I'm going to stagger them all a little bit like so, and they're going to overlap this flap, and this is going to help us keep everything together, okay? So let's just set that there so we can kind of keep our eye on it. And then let's go ahead and look at our stamp set. So we have Christmas lights here, and we have this beautiful tree, and then we have the dies to match the beautiful tree. So here they are. There are 2 pieces to this die, and then this is also true for the snowflake. The cool thing about this is that you can cut out an outline, or you can cut out an outline and add the detailing to it so that you can see through. So let's see what that looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss Mini here because I don't need, oops, sorry. I haven't gotten the chair covers yet. I think I have some. I need to get those on my chair. But I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my mini and go ahead and do my die cutting here on this piece. I think I probably need to turn this gold down just a little so that it fits. All right. So remember with your mini, you don't want to align the plates like with one solid, you know, like don't be tempted to smush these all together so they're flat at the end. You'll find it easier to get your plates started if you have them staggered a little bit. So, all right, so I'm gonna run these through, and now we have our die shape. Now this is going to be the background silhouette for our tree. And for this, we are going to now have an overlay that we want. And our overlay is going to be from Very Vanilla cardstock. So here is that piece of, this is Very Vanilla, but instead of doing just the outline, I am going to go ahead and put my piece on here, but I'm also going to go ahead and add the inside part. And I'm gonna make sure those two don't touch each other. Sorry guys, don't touch each other. I wanna make sure that they're exactly lined up together. And then I just pop a piece of washi tape on to make sure that that stays. And then I'd run this through my die cut machine, and through the magic of television here, I have this one. So I usually give it a couple of good flicks to pop out any little holes. And then check this out. We have the gold that shows through our tree. And so now we have all those tiny little sparkly lights. I hope that they're as sparkly in the camera as they are in person. They are a lot of fun. And remember, you can cut those two at the same time. They're meant to be used that way. All right, this is also true for the snowflake. Lots of possibilities with this die set. Okay, so we have, we're working on a focal point. Now, I could go ahead and line these up exactly, but actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna offset them to really highlight that tree, just like that. See how that kind of adds that extra fun element there? All right, so we're kind of building. I'm gonna leave this here. Now we need our greeting, and here's where I'm going to bring in my basic white cardstock and a greeting from the Brightest Glow stamp set. So for this one, I am going to grab, let's just do the simple Merry Christmas. So grab this here and pop it on a block. And then we're gonna go ahead and stamp this here in Evening Evergreen on our basic white cardstock. And upside down for you guys, sorry about that. I'm gonna put it kind of in the middle because I want to pick a die shape that really makes the most of it. So we have a couple different choices for labels here. A long skinny one that matches some of these skinny greetings, some circle ones that match these circular size, these 5 right here. There, 5. And then this long one, which will match the other dies here, or the other greetings in the set. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. And because this tree is a little bit fussy, it's got a lot of pieces in it, then of course I am going to repeat that by making some sort of fussy extras here on my tag so that I have sort of a matching theme, right? We want to kind of stick with the theme. It's not like we're mixing and matching styles greatly. That's one of the nice things about having suites where the pieces all go together like this. So let's go ahead and pop this on our mini die cut machine and run it through. So if you are going to some kind of, going someplace else to stamp away from home, this is where the mini die cut machine comes in really handy. So easy to pop in your bag and travel with. So there is our greeting here for our card. Okay, so let's talk about putting this together now, and then we're going to talk about the inside because I have another fun surprise that makes the most of these pieces. So I'm going to bring in our ribbon. This is gorgeous. It is very soft. It is nice and flexible. It ties terrific bows. So let's go ahead and get our pieces set. Now, like I said, I have these kind of arranged a little bit sporadically. I don't really want them all to line up. So you see how I just switched those so they're not quite in line. And I do want them to overlap the flap of our card though. So I've got them pinched in my hand. I'm just gonna flip them to the back side. And because they are going to see some extra, wear and tear or like push back from the ribbon, I would recommend go ahead and stick these down with either your Seal Plus or your tear tape so that you have a really strong adhesive there. And did I just do what I'm not supposed to do? No, okay. That's good, that's the top. So what you don't want to do, I'm flipping them like this, is you don't want the bottom of your card to have adhesive on it because you don't want to seal your card shut. Okay, so now these are kind of connected together. I don't have any adhesive down here at the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and pop these on like this. Okay, all right, so now we're gonna go ahead and make this closure a little bit more finished, I guess. And we're gonna tie a ribbon around here. And let's see. I've taught you guys this bow lesson before about which way they turn out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tie it and see which way. I want my bow to kind of like face a certain direction. I want it to be perpendicular to the part that goes around the card. There we go. And it looks like I got that. So if you tie your bow and the bow is parallel to the part that goes around your card, it's an easy fix. Wait, why do I have an extra? There we go. It's an easy fix. You would just untie your bow and cross the first cross, like if you did left over right, do right over left, and then tie the same bow again, and you'll get your bow loops lying in the opposite direction. There we go. Okay, I am cinching these down because I always like to have my bow loops in proportion to my card, and so I find if my bow doesn't look quite right, it's usually because my loops are too large. So All right, so I've got those on there, and now I'm going to pop our tree together. So again, here's what it looks like this way, where it's lined up perfectly. It's very cool, but on this busy background, this just, little switch over means that it pops out that much more, okay? So I'm gonna use my multi-purpose liquid glue to attach these two layers together, and I'm gonna pop it in the space where there are some die cut sort of embossed elements, but not holes, which is really cool thing about this die. It actually, there's a number of those little tiny light speckles that are like embossed elements rather than being die cut all the way through. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it is a cool texture feature. And the reason I like to use multi-purpose liquid glue for this is that it is sometimes hard to get things to attach really firmly to the glimmer paper surface. Let me tell you while we're holding this to make sure it's dry about the glimmer paper. It actually comes in a pack of 3. There is the green, the gold, and the off-white, and they are a terrific mix for the papers in the designer series pack. So this is on the same Sweet Collection page, and a really fun glimmer paper. So you get 2 12 by 12 sheets of each one, so there's quite a bit there because often you're using relatively small amounts at a time. So let's go ahead and attach this. I'm going to pop some Stampin' Dimensionals on, and I'm going to use more than my one that I often use. I feel like I should have held this together a little bit longer. That's okay. I can come back and give it some card first aid if needed. But I am going to go ahead. I want actually the bow to sit on top of our element. So let's go ahead. I want to make sure my tree is straight here, and then our bow is way off to the side so that our Merry Christmas greeting can sit alongside it. And to make sure that this sticks really well, I'm going to go ahead and use dimensionals, and I'm going to pop them. I don't want the ribbon to confuse things, so I'm going to pop them on our card where I know that they won't happen to fall on the ribbon. I might actually put one over a little of the ribbon to hold it all together, but I don't want them to be like wasted so that it attaches the ribbon and the element's all floppy, okay? So there we have our greeting, okay? So here's the front of our card. Now the bottom, in case you're wondering how this works, it has this little flap here, and the bottom then opens like so. Oh, you know what? Okay. Good job, Meg. Let me back up here. I tied the ribbon around the whole card. That's not how it's supposed to go. So let me untie this. It's supposed to go around this part of the card here, like this, and it secures this whole front element so that it will like stay together and not pop off of our card. So yay, you get to see me tie that bow one more time. So let's see, I just did, for my direction, this is left over right, and then I'm gonna tie my bow, and let's see. Oh, yep, that was the perpendicular bow that I wanted, so that's perfect. All right, so there we go. Tanya said, would it work with last year's gold paper? Oh my gosh, yeah. This glimmer paper is great because it happens to match all of the 3 colors in this designer series paper that we're going to be focusing on at Evening Evergreen. But yeah, any gold foil or gold glimmer paper will show through those little holes and be beautiful. So let's look at this. I feel like we need more bling on the inside of our card here, right? We don't want to like have people open the card and leave it just flat. Like, whoa, that was kind of a letdown. So first, I'm going to grab a greeting. I really like this one that says, may the peace of the season light your world and your new year be the brightest. So I'm going to grab this in here. Okay. And I am going to mount this on a block. Note to self, clean stamps before unmounting. Okay, so here we go. May the peace of the season light your world, and may your new year be the brightest. And to make sure it fits on there, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it all the way at a diagonal. Now, a note about stamping things and keeping them straight. It's always a good plan to stamp on a piece of scratch paper before you stamp on your project, just to make sure that you're keeping things straight. And I don't happen to have scratch paper handy, so we're just gonna go for it and see what we get. Oh, pretty good. Okay, so it's a little bit like, see, actually that's pretty darn straight. I'm just gonna let it go. So now what I wanna do is I want to add an opportunity to have some gold show up here on the inside of our card. So I could do like a big strip like this, but that's a little bit like, whoa, for my taste. So we're going to instead use another one of the dies. So this is the die set that is part of the greeting bundle, and it includes this label that we've used. I'm going to use this die here on the inside of our card, which is going to give us a chance to have some sparkle come up through the bottom of our card for this. Now, this one I won't be able to do because I'm running it through this direction. I won't be able to do it with my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So this is an opportunity for the larger machine. So I'm just gonna pop it over here and run it through, and I will be right back. It also helps to go ahead and use a piece of washi tape to keep your die straight when you do this. Or you can, go rogue and just go ahead and use it without. But here, bringing this back, when I take this away, you can see this here and all the fun little dots. So this element, I'm gonna go ahead and do like some kind of flicking of things here so that I don't have to work so hard to get all those elements out. And then I'm going to grab my tool here and pop this across here. Okay, and that is going to punch out the rest. And it kind of looks like, actually I should have run this through twice. So sometimes, let's see, sometimes you can line this up and run it through again. There it goes. Okay, so did you see how that just fit right in there? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna run it through. And when I ran it through this time, you saw I did this direction. The smart money is on switching the direction of your cardstock so that you can run it back through with the opposite direction. Because what that does is it places the pressure of the rollers a little bit differently on your cardstock. And so you're gonna get a little bit different pressure in different places, so you can be assured that you're getting a really full coverage of the pressure in the die cut machine on your die. And let's bring that back here, and oh, that's so much better. So if I just run it through twice the first time, it would have been much easier. And then any little bit extra there, I'll get right back. All right, so now I'm going to take my gold and pop it here behind. And like I said earlier, my favorite is the multi-purpose liquid glue. I'm gonna go ahead and put this here because this gives me, I find, the really most outstanding bond between my paper, my cardstock layer on top and my glimmer paper underneath. There you go. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold this for a second or two and insert this, see, on my card. You also can kind of get your extra layer on there. I'm gonna put some tear tape inside, and this is gonna hold the pieces together where I want them also. All right, so we've just added that fun element to the inside of our card. Really pretty, right? So there is our card front. There is our repeat of the elements on the inside, and a really pretty Christmas card that features the brightest glow. And even though we didn't use these Christmas light stamps, we used the dies, and they both of these come as a bundle. Oh, I got them backwards. This one is bundled here, and this one is bundled here. So this is a great way to use both of them, and a fun way to make a really fun-filled Christmas card that has a lot of extra glow for your project. So let's see, I am going to kind of wrap up now for Christmas. Sorry, not wrapping up for Christmas, wrapping up our kickoff to Christmas. I swear I should have had a Santa hat or Christmas sweater at least, but I wanted to go ahead and share this one with you as the first of 4 projects that will be featuring the Lights Aglow Christmas suite that is also featured on the front of the July through December book. So All the pieces are in stock right now, which means you can get it. There is a shopping link in the video description below that will take you to my store. I appreciate your support. When you purchase from me, it supports my business and helps me keep making these fun videos for you guys. And I really love seeing you. So thank you so much for your comments this morning, and for people who are watching later. So if you have any questions, let me know. Know, though, that I will be featuring 3 additional projects using the same set of supplies. You can learn more about LovenStamps Perks Points and LovenStamps Card Kits to go on my website at LovenStamps. Under Join the Club, you'll find both of those links for Perks Points and the card kits to go. You can see the other supplies that are listed. So I've listed cardstock colors and ink and so forth, because the idea is that when you get these card kits from me, if you've placed an order of $50 or more, you want to stamp the projects, right? So you'll need to provide your own stamps and ink, and though those are listed there, so you can order those ahead if you wish. If you don't want those particular stamps, you could of course use products that you have at home. But I find a lot of people really appreciate having the list ahead of time so they can get ready for when their card kits will come. And I've heard that card kits from September orders have been arriving recently. So have fun with those, everybody. And I will be back next week with more Christmas projects for you. We're going to do a blitz of fun Christmas projects for the next couple times we get together for Maker Mornings with Meg. So have a wonderful day. Happy pre-Friday, as Kelly would say. And I will look forward to seeing you again on Tuesday next week. So happy stamping, guys.